The gospel proclaimed today is the parable of the prodigal son. In this parable, the Father is God. But as we listen to this parable, we must realize that at different times in our lives, sometimes we are the prodigal son, and other times we are the brother. And we should pay attention to how God entreats both into his mercy. We heard how one of the two sons asked for his half of the inheritance, which he then went and spent in dissolute living, impoverished and hungry, and working as a hired hand, not even being given anything to eat. He comes to his senses and he says, how much better would it be for me to be a hired hand back at my father's estate? And so he comes up with a speech that he is going to deliver to his father when he arrives. He is going to declare, I have sinned against God and you. I am not worthy to be called your son. Merely let me be now one of your hired servants. And so, ready with this speech, he goes back to his father. When his father sees him, however, he rushes to him. And as the son begins the speech, and as he says, I am not worthy to be your son, the father does not let him finish his prepared remarks. The father declares, put a robe on him, a ring on his finger. He tells the servant, slay the fatted calf. We will celebrate, for my son was dead, and now he is alive. What we can learn from that, we oftentimes may feel so sinful that we don't even anymore feel that we should be considered a child of God. We must remember that God's mercy is infinite. There is nothing we can do to make ourselves not able to be forgiven and embraced by God our Father. Other times, however, we are the brother. Bear in mind, half of this inheritance is gone. It would seem to follow that everything, that robe, that ring, and that fatted calf, it's all coming out of the other brother's half, because the other half is gone. It is inherently unfair that the father is now giving these blessings to that brother. And we must remember, it is also inherently unfair when we forgive. We are asked to forgive as we are forgiven. We are not asked to forgive our brothers and sisters as long as they are repentant and have made up for it to us. We are called to forgive. And it's inherently unfair. But we must remember, anything anyone has done to us and which we are called to forgive, it is nothing compared to the offenses that we make daily to our God through our sinfulness. And so, as we reflect on this Sunday of the prodigal son, it is a story of God's infinite mercy, and it is a call for us to indeed forgive one another, that we may be forgiven. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.